Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. And this is our edition of the first round fallout from tonight's draft. It's still going on. I've been keeping track of the draft using the NFL mock draft database. I just selected all players, so that's what you see here. So I want to get into it. I want to talk about the draft. And I want to talk about the 17th pick and kind of give my take on the situation. If you are hearing me, let me know in the chat before I go on. I want to make sure that I am indeed live and you all can hear me. Should be on right now. So let me know in the chat. Hey, let me know if you can hear me in the chat real quick. Say hi in the chat for me, and then we'll move on. So I'm going to talk about our pick. I'm going to talk. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the draft itself and how it's flown so far. So basically, I'm using the mock draft simulator. I just picked all teams, and I've been plugging in the picks as they've been coming tonight. So if you see right here, we have Trevor Lawrence, etc. First thing I want to talk about really is the draft itself. Not a whole lot of surprises until maybe the fifth pick. Kyle Pitts was expected. Trey Lance, Jamar Chase, getting back together with Joe Burrow again instead of taking an offensive lineman. Okay, I mean I'm fine with that, no problem. Jalen Waddle, Sewell makes sense. J.C. Horn, I thought they would take another tackle there to match him up with Moton. All right, let's see. Just had the Ravens select Bateman here, Rashad Bateman. So just trying to keep up with the picks here as we go. So we're currently at the 28th pick. The Saints are on the clock here. All right, so went through. Hey, Dominique, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'll get to the Raider pick. I'm kind of just going over the draft. I basically used the NFL mock draft database as a key. I just selected all teams. I've been plugging the names in as they went on and then just kind of making the trades so you can kind of see them here. J.C. Horn, like I said, good player, but I was expecting a tackle here, left tackle. Maybe like Darisaw would have been a good pick here for them. Match him up with Taylor Moton. Have the bookend tackles, but it's their team. Okay, still a good player. Patrick Surtain. I think that's the guy that Dallas wanted all along, and they got undercut. I was thinking maybe Micah Parsons here. Didn't happen. Then Dallas swapped here with Philly. Philly got Devontae Smith, decent pick, wide receiver. And then the Bears moved up here and finally got a decent quarterback. I think he'll do well there. Justin Fields, good arm. Dallas took Micah Parsons. Then we'll just go down the list here. Rashawn Slater, that's a good pick for them. Protect Herbert. The Jets moved up, took Elijah Vera Tucker. I think they're going to plug him in at guard. And then Mac Jones fell to the Patriots. Good for them. Zaven Collins, not a knock against the player. They already have Isaiah Simmons kind of and they mentioned that, and I'm watching the ESPN feed. So, okay, okay, good player, but I want to see how he fits in the defense. And then we get here to pick 17. Now I figured we'd pick an offensive tackle at this point. Darisaw, Jenkins. Jenkins is still on the board, by the way. We're at 28th. So both of those guys were on the board. Even JOK was on the board, and I'm thinking, okay, it'll probably be one of those three guys. And then the clock was ticking, and I was wondering, well, maybe they're going to trade down. Well, probably not, since Mac Jones was already gone. Maybe if Mac Jones was there, maybe they could trade with somebody, maybe like a Pittsburgh. That didn't happen. So they made the pick, and the pick was Alex Leatherwood. And right after I went on Sanjeet's feed. I went to Chat Sports. I wanted to get the reactions there. A couple other places, pretty much the same. Pretty much another reach for the Raiders. And to be fair, I wanted to kind of take a look at this. So this has been about an hour since our pick, right? So I kind of looked at PFF. Now, I'm not saying that all these are right and Gruden and Mayock are wrong, right? So I just want to go through that right now. They have Alex Leatherwood as the 40th overall prospect. I just popped open his guide here. Basically, he's a good run blocker, not so much on the pass, which kind of worries me, to be honest. And then they have the grades by game, so it's pretty intense. So I wanted to go to a few other places. The mock draft simulator that I'm using to track the players have had Leatherwood ranked at 40th overall. Okay, I think they had PFF had him at 39th, not 40th. Same difference. PFN, one of the other simulators we have, ranked 39th, and then some of his positives and negatives. And then ESPN doesn't even have him ranked as a tackle. They have him ranked as a guard, and they feel he's actually going to play guard for us, and maybe can fit into the tackle role later. So here's my take on this. It feels like another reach by the Raiders. It feels like we're still kind of on the short bus, so to speak, while the other teams are making the right moves, right? To me, Darisaw, I know he was a left tackle. I think he could have moved over to right tackle. Tevin Jenkins would have been a better pick. Even if they went defense, I wouldn't necessarily go with JOK. I know Zaven was gone, and I kind of made a comment in one of the live streams that I think maybe they kind of panicked. They wanted Zaven, and he was taken right before them. I thought they might take an offensive tackle at one point, but then again, I thought, okay, well, Gus Bradley's here. Maybe they'll give him the first pick to turn this defense around. Kind of didn't happen that way. So again, we're at this point with the Raiders now. This is the fourth draft with Gruden. This is the third draft with Gruden and Mayock teamed up together. And I made a comment in one of the streams that, okay, even with Gruden and Mayock, that's 6 first-round picks now. And to me, the only one that I didn't really question was Josh Jacobs, because it made sense. We needed a running back, and he was the consensus best one. I know some people said he shouldn't pick one in the first round. Mel Kiper, blah blah. It was in the 20s anyway. So what? But we needed him. This pick, the consensus here tells me he was a second-round guy. Now, if you're Einstein and he ends up being the best tackle, fine. That's the only scenario I see where we win here. But if that was the case, why not get somebody else and get him at 48? Or get somebody else at 17, move up from 48 into, early second, late first, and get this guy if you really wanted him. If this guy is, by and far the best. I just don't understand this pick at all. It it's like we're almost playing from behind, and our best case scenario is to break even. You know, while others seem like their worst case scenario is to break even. Their best case scenario is going to get a Pro Bowl type guy or better. So pretty much what I have to talk about. If you want to go through uh, some of the information here that PFF or ESPN, I just kind of wanted to, yeah. So that's what I have to say about Alex Leatherwood. I'm not saying he's a bad pick, but consensus wise, he was not even the best offensive tackle on the board. He wasn't the second best offensive tackle on the board. Some claim he was maybe fourth or fifth best offensive tackle on the board. So I mean that's a debate of opinion. I get that, but to me, again, we get back to this. If that's the consensus, and this guy is going to go in the 40s or late first, early second, why are you picking him at 17? This is Cleve Farrell all over again, and it's just I've kind of had enough. I've had enough. I know a lot of people have knocked Gruden, and in my video I've said he's done some good things and some other things he has not done well on, and this is one of them. And a lot of people say that they have the opinion that he came back, the game has passed him by. I'm really starting to believe that at this point, to be honest with you. I don't think he knows how to do the drafting. And again, Mike Mayock, he's this guru. All right, we've had 3 drafts now. It seems that they do better later on. We'll get the Max Crosbys. We'll get the Hunter Renfrows. I mean, we got Maurice Hurst at the time was a first round projection, but he had the heart issue. We got him like in the 5th round. I know we cut him, but still, it seems I almost feel like we should be trading away our first round picks like the Rams do, because we do shit with them. We could have got 2 second round draft picks and had like 21, 26 first, and we reached again. That's how I feel. I think that's how we all feel. Like I said, for this pick to work, he's going to have to be the 3rd best tackle, right? When it's all said and done, I'm not seeing that. It's like we're overplaying ourselves. We're picking players at 17 that should go at 30, 40. We're picking a 4th overall pick that was probably like a 20th overall pick. It's like, and the problem is we don't learn. We keep doing this. I mean, even Damon Arnett, people were saying he was picked too high. He was a 2nd round guy. Abram, they said he went a little too high. So this is like a systemic issue. This is a repeating type issue. I don't think these guys kind of know what they're doing. So that's kind of my 2 cents on this. What do you guys think? So what do you guys think on this? So you've heard what I had to say about it. Like I said, I'm not saying Alex Leatherwood's a terrible pick, but to me, at best, he needs to be able to reach to that level of a 17th overall pick. And it's not his fault. If he's the 4th or 5th best offensive tackle on the board and we pick him, that's not his fault. Right? That's our fault. Now he's going to have the pressure to be better than Christian Darrisaw, Tevin Jenkins, So at best, he meets the expectation. We need to be getting guys who are exceeding expectation. We just, at least in the 1st round, we don't do that in the 1st round. So, I've been talking. I didn't see who the Saints picked. Green Bay picked Stokes. Gruden or not, pick seems suspect. Call me Call me noise, but Grudel is a. I Goodell getting booed never gets old with me. It just doesn't. You know, I think he's such a douchebag. Now, Alex is not a bad pick, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Rance. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but we probably could have gone with the 48th pick. Right? Tell Gruden to stay away from Trip. It's impossible. Tommy Boy, Mark Davis, who I call Tommy Boy, like Chris Farley, where he took over his dad's brake business. If you've seen the movie, he's Tommy Boy. He has no clue about football. I think he spends most of his time at Hooters or something. He can't even get a decent haircut, for crying out loud. He's running the team, and we went through crappy, Mr. Sharpie Boy, and Jack Del Rio wasn't bad. I think he got a little lucky in 2016. We got a lot of breaks in that season. I mean, we weren't a terrible team, but I don't think we were a 12-4 team either. And Reggie McKenzie, he was kind of hit and miss. I mean, if you take away the 2014 draft, not so much. I think that was kind of his thing. So that's where he kind of shined. But otherwise, DJ Hayden, no, I don't think so. So he's kind of bounced around. So it's almost like he threw a Hail Mary. It's like, well, the last time the Raiders were good, we had Gruden, and, we went to a Super Bowl, and, they had the falling out, after the Tuck Rule game, that I could go a whole video just on that. It just kind of skewed our destinies between the Patriots and the Raiders. It still pisses me off. I'm sure it does to you, but it seems like he was trying to get that back. And it's like, what can I do to lure John Gruden back out of the booth? Oh, 10 years, $100 million guaranteed. Yay, we're going to be great again. No, that was 20 years ago. And again, I think the game's passed him by. We might not like him, just like Colton Miller, but look at him now. We need a good offensive tackle, and seen tape of him. He gets the second layer of rush blocking. Yeah, they say he's a good rush block, but pass blocking, not so much. His pass blocking wasn't bad at all. Okay. But what I'm saying is, Roland, like I said, even if he's good, we could have got him later. That's the whole point. And that's when we did those mock drafts this week and the last couple times. That was one of the things I said. I said, okay, you could have so many good players at a position, right? You can forsake that because you can figure that a couple of those good players are still going to be there in the next round. Get your best available. We would try that. We passed on Levi. We probably should have taken him there in that situation. We passed on him because all these offensive tackles were still there. But that's something, I mean, they're professionals. We're doing this for fun. We're having fun with this. They're getting paid millions of dollars to do this, and they're fucking it up. That's frustrating, right? So why didn't we get another player at 17 and then get him at 48, or if we feel he wouldn't be there, move up from 48 into the early second round to get him. Leatherwood is not terrible at pass blocking, but he's a much better run blocker. Okay. Again. That's what I'm saying. This is not an indictment on Alex Leatherwood. Roland and Fierce Raider, do you feel that Leatherwood is better than Christian Darrisaw? Or Tevin Jenkins? That would be the question I have. Do you feel that we should have taken Leatherwood at 17th overall? No. Oh, I think most people don't. That's my point. I hope he works out. I'm a Raider fan. But it seems like we're burning draft capital again. This is like Cleveland Farrell again. Cleveland Farrell was not worth the 4th overall pick. That doesn't mean he sucks. he was probably worth a late first round pick. Right? We could have had Devin White at 4th overall, and you saw what he. Now, granted, he has a lot more talent around him on the Bucks, but still, I think we could have got Devin White there, and maybe got Clee later, but we didn't do it. These are the kind of moves that are going to keep us from winning another championship, because we could have got good talent here at 17 and gotten Leatherwood at 48, or moved up from 48, taken one of those. We have 3 third-round picks, taken one of those, or 2 third-round picks. We could have taken one of those in the second and moved up a few spots to grab him if we really wanted him from 48. These are the kind of moves. These are the reason. This is part of the reason why this team is not a contender. This team is not winning Super Bowls. It just is what it is. I mean, part of it, of course, is on the field and the game tacticianing, and I've talked about that in the grading Gruden videos, where I've seen issues with second half of Gregory Rousseau got picked. By the way, I have it on my feed on the TV. I can't show you because I got a copyright strike and all this other bullshit. But I showed in the video we have issues in the second half of games and the second half of seasons, and that tells me we're getting out coached. They're figuring us out game by game and during the season. Maybe Mayock knows more than we know. This is the 3rd year, so again, I give rookies 2 years, so I don't see a Super Bowl in our future anytime soon. I don't know. I can't discount them out totally. I mean, I'm a fan, so I'm a little biased, obviously, but I've seen what Gus Bradley can do. That's what kind of concerns me. I think this was a total Mayock pick as far as who he wanted. I was half thinking. I was kind of half wondering if we wanted Zaven Collins, and Arizona snagged him from us right before, and we kind of hit the panic button there. I'm wondering if that happened. Merrick might fall the second round. Yeah, I think Merrick will fall the second round. Who did the Saints pick? I did not see that. I wasn't paying attention. And I can update the board if you guys know. Let's see. Gruden's going to build this team in time for a new coach to come in and dismantle the team again. This is what I would want if I was the owner. I would want to get a seasoned GM, a true GM, not a guy in the NFL Network booth for 15 years evaluating talent. Make him the head of your scouting or whatever if he wants to do that. He probably wouldn't. But, oh well, I want a real GM. And then go out and get, I would prefer like a younger coach, somebody with some new ideas, some new schemes. I think that would be a better formula than going old school and then having him bring his buddies in, whether it's Gunther or whether it's Mayock. And, I mean, the proof's in the pudding here. The proof's in the pudding. I think what's going to happen is we're going to be pretty good. We're going to be, it's almost like Paul Gunther. I think Paul Gunther should have been fired after the second season with Gruden's second season, before 2020 season. If you look at the defensive numbers, but he was just good enough. And then we beat KC in Arrowhead, so he had a stay of execution. This is kind of how I feel the team is. We're going to be just good enough to be sniffing at a playoff spot or maybe even getting a wild card, but we're not going to win a championship the way things are going. What do you guys think? And that meddling where we're kind of a fringe wild card, oh, there's still some hope, we're so close. That kind of attitude is going to keep us from taking the next step, because we're going to keep doing the same things. Oh, we must be doing it well. No, you're doing it well enough to be 8-8. You're not doing it well enough to be a Super Bowl team. That's the difference. We're going to be a playoff team that never. Yeah, I think that's probably our ceiling is wild card. Wild card, maybe second round. The way things are going, it kind of sucks. I mean, I mean, I'm wondering. I'm wondering if Derek Carr is going to want to trade after next year, or is not even going to sign with us. Not with Gruden. No. So. So what do you who do you guys think we should be targeting at 48? Probably probably doesn't matter. We'll probably get some guy a fifth round prospect at 48. The way things are going, to be honest, we really had taken offensive tackle. No, I'm not saying Leatherwood was bad, but Leatherwood was another reach. This is, happy draft day to all, and to all a good reach, and he lived up to my parody again. Dick Vitale, do you think Leatherwood was worth the 17th overall pick? Do you think he was better than Tevin Jenkins, Christian Darrisaw? I mean, you can only make that argument if you do. If you felt he was the best offensive tackle on the board, and all those guys were going to be gone, and we couldn't trade down, and we couldn't move up from 48 to possibly get him. Oh, I'm not saying they couldn't trade down. I don't think they could trade down at 17, especially with Mac Jones gone. See, I think the Dallas Cowboys screwed up probably. Well, no, it's not totally fair. I think the change in the draft, in my opinion, happened right here, right here with Denver. I think if they pick Micah Parsons there, I think if Patrick Surtain is there, I'm still wondering. I'm still wondering if they would either move up, if Mac Jones would even fall to the Patriots. I'm hearing, but we're all dreaming. Uh, Ravens pick is in. They'll probably get Tevin Jenkins, right? If he's still on board. I haven't been keeping up. I've been talking with you guys, so um, I really think Leatherwood is Gruden's guy, though. Okay, that's fine. Again, I'm not saying. I mean, even with Colton Miller, people said he was a reach, but I defended it because they actually moved back and they did that trade. Where Arizona got Alex Smith, they moved back and got him. I think they wanted McGlinchey, and he got taken right before with San Francisco. That's what I think happened. So they moved back and still got their guy. So I was like, okay, that's not too bad. So is Leatherwood going to be a guard or a tackle? Because some people say he's going to play tackle, and some people say he's going to be guard. Yeah, Rands, I don't think we could have moved back given the way the board fell, in fairness, because there wasn't who's going to come what team, what player is somebody going to come up for at 17 here? Ravens might go defense. Yeah, well, yeah. Ravens could get Jenkins. They need a replacement for Judon, Unique. I didn't see who they picked at. Oh yeah, they picked Bateman, so wide receiver. So yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the Jets, Elijah Vera Tucker, he's going to play guard, right? I don't think he's going to play tackle in the NFL. And the Jets moved up to 14 to grab him, so Jason Away, linebacker, shock, since they lost two in free agency, right? Well, 3-4 linebacker. No way he's a guard at pick 17. I hope not. Okay. I'm not knocking Leatherwood himself. This is Cleve Farrell all over again. When people get upset when Cleve Farrell was picked 4th overall, well, he's good. He's not 4th overall good though. That's my argument. I mean, even I remember in that draft, he was projected to be in the 20s. Cleve Farrell was. I'm happy not to see the Chiefs on the board. Well, they got the answer. They got the solution. They got Orlando Brown, the solution to all their problems. Well, good luck with that. But I'm more worried about the Chargers, to be honest. I think Slater's going to be a good pick for them. They got Herbert already. I mean, the talent was there. The problem with the Chargers was the coaching. I already talked about that. Anthony Wynn was terrible, and they got a new coach, so they got a new coaching staff. So everybody's fist bumping. The Ravens draft room, they're fist bumping. They got Jason Away. I like the pick personally. Leatherwood is going to be a great right tackle. Yeah, I hope so. But again, this is what I said, 43, is that's we're kind of breaking even. You know what I mean? He has to be a good right tackle to justify the 17th overall pick. Jenkins is falling for some reason. Maybe there's some medicals we do not know of. Yeah. A lot of offensive tackles were falling in those various mock drafts too. So both Chargers and Broncos got way better picks in the first round than we did. Yeah. Look at it this way. If he was the best offensive tackle between 17 and 48, and we're taking offensive, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Duke Vitale. That's the ceiling is breaking even. That's the problem. That's a bad Joe Tryon went to the Bucks. The rich get richer. Oh, anyway, but that's what I'm saying, Dick. That because we're playing, that's the ceiling, right? If he was the best, then we're breaking even at 17. If you think if the consensus is he's the 40th best player on the board, right? And you look over here at these various ones, they're roughly around 40th overall, right? Not to say that they're right, but as a team, you have to gauge what other people think, right? If you think he's like a diamond in the rough, then you have to play the people accordingly. Excuse me. Look at all the picks after us. They were all suspect. Jamin Davis is suspect? Okay. Maybe a little early. Quiddy Pay suspect. Jalen Phillips, maybe a little early. Sorry. Darisaw at 23 is suspect. Caleb Farley suspect at 22. I know with the medical, but they were saying without that, he would have been up there with Surtain. So I would say that's a decent range for him then. Gotta be realistic. This is a mediocre pick. He better be as good or even better than Colton Miller. He only has 1 year to prove it in my mind. I give all rookies 2 years, Rance. Sorry. These linebackers are coming off the board. Yep. He's a solid right tackle right now with a high ceiling, in my opinion. Okay. But again, do you think he's going to be better than Darisaw and Jenkins? Yes or no? And again, even then, I get back to my point. If most of the other teams think he was a 40th overall prospect or roughly thereof, and you feel he is a 17th overall prospect, then you move up from 48 to ensure you get him. And you get another player you feel is in that range. So you basically get two players that are 17th valued in your mind, not one. Oh yeah, time will tell. That's with all these picks. I mean, who knows? I'm just saying you have to play the game with the value that everybody else thinks he is. And all these other places I'm seeing, as far as rankings, he was maybe at best fifth best tackle ranked. Maybe. So the draft is over for the first round. I think they felt good about the medical. Big issue for many. Well, I hope so. Like I was saying when we were doing the mock drafts, we can't miss in the first round. You can't miss. If you want to reach and take some project player in the fourth round, so what? That's when you do it, right? But to take a 40th ranked player or 17th, I don't see it. Even if you feel he is that talented on your board, then you make provisions and move into the late in the first round. They could have done it. They had the picks. No, I'm not. Yeah, Dick Vitale. Let's say he is worth the 17th overall pick. Say he plays 3 years from now, and he's a stud right tackle. Right now, most people think he is the 40th best player. Right? So you play to that. You get somebody else that you feel is in this range that everybody else thinks is in this range. Maybe a JOK or whoever you want to say, right? Kayla, Farley, whoever you want, right? Then you take your 48th and you take some picks and you move up maybe in this range right here and make sure you get him. That would make sense. Thanks, 43. I appreciate it. I'll be doing it after the draft's over. I'll do a video on all these guys. I think Raid the Tape mentioned that in one of our live streams before about Leatherwood and how it seems that our organization is very myopic as far as picking players from certain teams. And since he was from Alabama, Alabama, Clemson, SEC, he'd go 8th and 2nd if we didn't get him now. Okay, 8th and 2nd, which would be 40th overall. Yeah, he was ranked 40th. That's my point, right? If he's consensus ranked 40th, take this, if you really want him, take this pick and a third, move up into here, get your guy you feel is a 17th best talent, and get a guy, if you can't move out of here, get a consensus guy that you feel is that talented. That's the play to make. He's ready to play right now. A bunch of these guys are projects later. Okay. Again, we're not going to know how good or bad he is. I'm not knocking him as a player. I'm saying If others had him consensus down here, why overpay, right? Right? You go. It's like going to McDonald's and paying $20 for a Big Mac. Well, I like Big Macs. Big Macs are good, but that doesn't mean you have to pay $20 for them. Jenkins, Merrick, JOK, Barmore, Aziz all dropped out of the first round. I figured Merrick would, unless we grabbed him. Not a lot of safeties go in the first round. JOK. Jenkins was a surprise. Barmore wasn't. There's a lot of mocks where he's in the second. Ojolari, well, kind of fell through the cracks. Or just other red flags could have risen up we don't know of. Well, that's the whole thing, though. You have to have your board with tiers, right? So say they felt Alex Leatherwood was the best. He was the last of the tier, and there's a huge. I don't agree with it, but there's a huge drop off. Then again, but he's ranked 40th. Again, you move up and get him later, and you pick a different player here. And even if you don't get him, there's so many other offensive tackles. I don't. Even if you don't get the Big Mac, go get a Whopper for $3 instead of paying $20 for a Big Mac. This is the same argument. Let's see. I think Leatherwood having the tools, clear medical, and being a captain. Oh yeah. Again, if he turns out to be a stud, it's great. But that's the point. He's going to have to hit that ceiling from a organizational standpoint. It's not him. It's not him as a player, right? Say he's the 6th ranked offensive tackle, right? And 2-3 years from now, he ends up playing as the 6th best offensive tackle in this class. He met what people thought of. We overpaid, but if he's the best, then why overpay when everybody else thinks he's down here? That's my point. That's the only offensive lineman picked after us, and he had surgery in January. Okay. Well, how many? Well, we had 3 before that. Well, if you count Vera Tucker. I think the over-under was, what, 5 or 6 offensive tackles picked in the first round, so... Yeah, he's only 40th in the media evaluation, and the NFL could be different. Yeah. Well, I'll say, again, I'll just say this and leave it there. He better play to the draft value, or Gruden and Mayock are failures. That's the bottom line. It's like Cleve Farrell. They were failures. He was not worth a 4th overall pick. So let's see. Let's update our board here. We can look at the second round. Kind of going around and around, basically saying the same thing. So, Bateman, Peyton Turner, wow. And then Stokes and Rousseau. Let's see. Away and all right, now we're caught up. Let's looking at who was chosen after pick 7. Jamie Davis, the only player I wish we picked. Everyone else, nah. And a part of this with Gruden. If people think Mayock isn't a part of this with Gruden, Mayock would have quit. I guarantee he's not going to be a puppet for John Gruden. They're both garbage. I'm gonna say it's probably like 75-25 Gruden. A couple of reasons why. One, the interview he just had, and I mentioned in the video, one of the things he could have had a lessons learned was to go with his gut, and to me that translates into don't let Gruden override me. And two, the Antonio Brown situation. I mean, according to the reports, AB called Mayock a racial slur. There was a lot of heat, wanted to beat him up, and Gruden kept, oh, come on, AB, what's wrong? He was trying to get him all the way to the last minute, and then until Gruden gave up on it, then he got cut. So it's Gruden number one. How Cleveland Farrell's one of the top DEs in the league. That's a fact. I wanted Devin White. So you're saying Cleve Farrell is even with Nick Bosa, like Gruden and Mayock said, Dick Vitale? I don't believe that. Merrick made it second round. Yeah. I figured if we didn't pick him, he probably would go to the second round. So let's see. We have the 16th pick in the second. And here's the list of offensive tackles. So here are the ones that are still available. Clea solid. Yeah. Again, we paid $20 for a Big Mac. I love Big Macs. Well, we didn't have to pay $20 for it. We paid a 4th overall pick for Cleve Farrell. He's not worth the 4th overall pick. Oh, yeah, FAB. I just brought it up as a situation to show that Gruden's in charge and not Mayock. Because if it was the other way around, AB would have been cut a long time ago. Gruden was being the lapdog there. Oh, come play with us, please, please, please. Oh, no. It was dumb. That's again, it's like everybody else knew he was a head case except Gruden. And shit, he only lasted one game with Bill Belichick, the guru, the great master. Cut. And then he went to Tampa, and Brady probably told him to behave himself, and you can get a ring or you can get the fuck out. So he behaved himself. That's basically what it was. I don't know if you had a Big Mac lately. No, I haven't had a Big Mac lately. Let's see. Did I miss any? I'm just looking up. It's no justifying this pick. It really isn't. Yeah. I hope he's great. I hope Leatherwood is great. I just think we're paying too much. Guys, Cable made this call. All Gruden and Mayock decided was that they were going OT with the first pick unless Parsons probably dropped. Once they decided OT, Cable that's fine, J. Michael C. That's fine. Again, if everybody else is ranking him around 40, why pick him at 17? Is he the only offensive tackle in this draft? And we have to go get him now. Oh my God. I don't buy that. Why overpay? Gruden, no doubt, is general manager. Yeah, I think Mark Davis is at the Hooters right now eating some wings. That's what I think. Cleveland Farrell was the highest rated defensive player on our team, is ranked. Yeah, that's not my ranking. That's according to all the stats guys. Yeah, he's He's the highest rated defensive player on the 24th ranked defensive team. Okay. It's like, well, a Hyundai gets me, 40 miles to the gallon. Well, it's okay. I think he's the 40th player. Way better than that ranking. Okay. Again, part of it is what everybody else thinks too. That's part of the game, right? That's part of trading, right? I mean, what the Bears, they moved up one pick and got Trubisky, and the freaking Niners raped him on that deal. Got a couple first rounders or something, and I don't remember the whole deal, but Niners probably like, they're going to go up and get Trubisky. He's a piece of crap. They thought he was good. Oh, okay. So they overpaid. Why? But this is the other way around. If other people think he's not that good, and we're the Einsteins here, and we know he's great, then get him a little bit earlier. Don't way overpay. So I think we've kind of beaten that dead horse a few times. So why don't we talk about who we feel we should target with 48? So here are the players available per the NFL mock draft database rankings. So Merrick, you want to get Merrick? Okay. So if you want to target him, a couple things I would say. One, do you feel that another team here is going to grab him or would have a need to grab him? That would be the question here. Jets have May, unless they trade him. But they did tag him. Falcons need help on defense. Miami, I'm not sure about their situation at free safety. That's, again, you said Grant or Merrick. So if you feel that they're in the same tier, then, again, we're kind of doing that in the mock draft. Maybe in a situation you're looking at a position and you feel there's 4 good players left and you'd like to get one of them. They're about kind of roughly the same tier. Maybe like one a little bit better than the other. But you look and you're 7 picks away and you probably think like 2 of them are going to go. Okay, you're pretty good. You don't have to move up now. You feel pretty confident one of those guys is going to fall to you. So that would be the question they need to look at. I mean, they have the draft capital if they want to move up from 48, or if they want to take a couple of those third rounders and maybe move late second and get a player. So let's look at safety. We're talking about safety here. So Justin Simmons, they kept him. They tagged him. No, probably. I'm not sure about the other teams. I'd have to look at their rosters. So you feel we should go safety next? Or is there either a different position or like a best available, regardless, that's so good that how did that guy fall? We should just grab him. I don't think they should trade up. The tackles will push the talent down the board. Yeah, maybe. I could see 2 teams maybe drafting a free safety just by looking at the teams. Atlanta could, and their defense is horrible. Then again, they might go after Aziz or Barmore. Again, this is something I'm hoping the Raiders are having some kind of debates where they're looking, okay, we're 12 picks away. we should target these players. We feel, these teams will probably go this position, whatever. Let's see. I think I even bet Honcho $1,000 no safeties would be taken. Really? Wow. That was kind of honestly, that was probably not the best bet for Honcho to take. They usually don't. I would say us and maybe a couple other teams might have taken Merrig. Mayock on tight end. I don't know what that means. We're going to target a tight end. Oh, Mayock in the presser right now. I'll have to watch it later. Again, if I put this up here, they'll probably hit me for a copyright. To be honest, that's why I couldn't. I understand like watching the draft and being on a live stream while it's happening, but again, I mean, unless you can like kind of watch it together and stuff, that's just me. I mean, I bebopped and just to try to get the feel for what people thought about the Leatherwood pick, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch that after this and kind of see what he says and what he doesn't say. So does anybody else have any ideas for the 48th other than Merrig if he falls, or free safety in general? Leatherwood is 6'6", and on his one video, the dude can move. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are comparing him to Colton Miller, another big guy. What are our needs? Free safety. Again, I'll say the same thing I said during the mock drafts. I'd want to take at least 2 tackles, offensive tackles. Free safety. Look at another edge rusher, a guard, linebacking, slot corner. We could use another speedy receiver / returner if we want to go that route. If we're not going to keep Richard, maybe get a running back late. I would say for 48, probably a safety or best available. Asante Samuel's still there. Man, we don't want to hear Mayock's crappy presser, and the sad thing is Mayock's a man's man, so I guarantee as much in on what picks. Well, the whole thing, Michael NorCal Raider, the whole thing about watching the pressers is to, one, try to glean some logic and try to read, you know what I mean? I'm trying, like when I did that video of that presser he did last week about the draft, some of the things I was thinking, oh, that's just total smoke. That doesn't make any sense. And some like, oh, I think he's telling a little bit of truth here. So that's what I want to watch it for. I want to, because I know they're going to ask him what the process was. I'm sure somebody's going to ask him, about the disparity between where Leatherwood was ranked or rated by a lot of people versus where they picked him at 17. I'd like to see his answers to those kind of questions. A part of me kind of feels that they wanted Zaven Collins, and then he got swiped by Arizona. They got swiped by Arizona right before. It's a part of me feels that way. Not saying it's true, but kind of sort of feel that way. So I think tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day as far as what we do in the second round. Um, again, I think we overreached. Regardless of how well he does, I think we could have got more value for the draft capital, just the way it is. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Maybe second round and beyond. I mean, we've been here about an hour, so. All right. All right. I think why don't they let us ask him why he's stop. You know, again, if maybe he feels he's the smartest guy in the room, I don't know. Um, Honestly, I'm not really seeing it so far. Um, I can't blame Mayock completely for this. You know, obviously we know who's in charge here, and that honestly kind of feels like it adds to the dysfunction. Because you have players, coaches, head coach, GM, owner. That's the normal. And no, we're kind of players and some coaches, and then you kind of got Mike Mayock here, and then Gruden's here, and kind of there with Mike Davis or Mark Davis. So it's a little dysfunctional. So it's kind of par for the course. So fourth round, maybe we should draft a speedster out of Auburn. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll draft him at 48. Had to say it. I had to say it. But he's so good. Somebody would have got him at 49. Ugh. All right. I think I've had enough ranting on this. If you guys don't have anything else to say, I think I'm going to kind of close this one out here. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. I enjoy talking with you. Even when we don't necessarily agree on certain subjects, it's good to get your input and opinions on things. Again, I'm not sure if I'll come on tomorrow after second and third rounds, but if I do get a notification, I'm not sure right now if I'm going to or not. I will be putting out a video though after the draft, kind of going over the individual picks. So I look forward to that. And again, thank you. And as always, go Raiders.